why the Mullen stock just can't quite get its act together. Hi again, everyone. I hope you're all doing really well. So the return to trade on Tuesday was disgusting for Mullen Automotive. Despite being on the short seller restricted list, we saw a huge sell-off with about 30% in the stock price falling. There was obviously no effective day trading of shorts that day, but I am guessing that a fair few shorts took up positions. And, you know, obviously we're on that short seller restricted list coming into Wednesday's trade. Now, I got this one wrong, but obviously Tuesday was kind of like the first trading day of the week. And I guess there's a couple of negative things going around about Mullen Automotive, which are hurting stock. So we spoke extensively about this last week, and so did a lot of other people, that you know, the proposals for the upcoming August 3 meeting, there's the potential of another reverse stock split of up to 1 to 100. That's definitely weighing on the minds of shareholders. If you think about it, like, you know, anyone who's holding stock right now, and they can see where the stock price is, even if they were willing to hold it till we start to see you know, some revenue start coming into the stock, they know that, like, we're falling below we're below NASDAQ listed pricing requirements, and, you know, there is very much a likelihood that another reverse stock split is going to come, and that generally only spells pain for the company. So people might be actually exiting the stock to hedge their bets here. They're saying, like, well, I might still believe in Mullen, but, you know, why would I hold my stock now? I can exit it, pull out, and look right down the track. There's going to be no dividends coming from this. It's probably going to keep falling, but down the track, I can buy back in after any such reverse stock split, if that is to happen, and I have a much more powerful position than I have now. So I think we are seeing an element of that, of existing shareholders getting out and you know, hedging their bets. Some of them may return, some may not. But yeah, it's not a good sign. The other thing too, it's worth pointing out, obviously I didn't really talk about it, but Lawrence Hodge made a bit of a return to social media, or he's been very prolific lately, but he did a Facebook Live over the US long weekend, and that was a very interesting one for anyone who actually saw it. I'm not going to go through it, but he kind of left a very grey, I guess, feel about the relationship between him and Mullen Automotive. It sounds like, you know, he kind of had this very sort of conspiratorial deep state sort of thought that, like, you know, very powerful people are trying to silence him because his technology is going to change the world. You know, he's been on about this before, but what was very hard to interpret is he kind of made out that, in a sense, that maybe him and Mullen may have parted ways on this deal. He didn't go out and say that, but he did allude to that, and he also sort of mentioned that he hasn't done the further testing. But it was very weird because he sort of said, I could do more testing, but, you know, I've done all the testing, and he doesn't want to do it. You know, if you've tested the vehicle 200 times, like you say, you tested this technology 200 times, like you say you have, just test it on these vehicles. Okay, let's see what it really is. You're saying you don't do this for the money. You clearly are doing this for the money. Like, why would you sell the technology? It's bizarre. So anyway, there was a lot of uncertainty that came out of that call regarding the partnership there with Mullen Automotive. So if the partnership is still alive, it's kind of, well, we're still dealing with this kind of circus show at the moment of, like, is the technology for real? Is it going to go ahead? And, you know, and then on the other hand, if the deal is falling apart, you know, Mullen's obviously sunk some money into this exchange already. Are there going to be any protracted legal battles because of this? What's going to come off? So, like, the whole whatever he said there, it's kind of also, I think, weighing on the stock. So we've got people scared about a reverse stock split, which is possibly going to come. We've got Lawrence Hodge again doing his thing to disrupt the stock price. Okay, we've got there's a lot of negative things going on for the company. I actually, during the fall, when I got up and saw, like, how much the stock had fallen by, because I slept through part of the market time, well, most of the market time I was asleep, but I woke up and said, oh, I might buy. I'm actually glad I held back, because I'm not saying this as investing advice, but I've only got a small position in Mullen Automotive, but it is tempting to buy in because it is such a low stock price. But the reality is there's a very good chance it could keep going lower. And, you know, like if you can see through to, you know, this shareholder meeting and see if there's going to be any sort of reverse stock split action occur, and, you know, it's looking increasingly likely that that will be the case. We're still some time away till it has to be enacted if it doesn't eventuate. Why would you invest now? Why wouldn't you just wait till later down the track? And, you know, the thing that sucks is, with the position I have, I'm still holding it. It's not very big, but it's it's down, you know, significantly. I bought in pre-stock split at about 7 cents per share, and, you know, and pre-stock split values is worth about 1 cent per share right now. Less than 1 cent per share right now. So, you know, it's hurt me. My position has been like destroyed. But I'm still holding that small position. But there are so many people who are left holding it, and it's like, oh, what's the point? And then you're gonna have another stock split, and it's gonna destroy it. So, yeah, I see why people leave the stock. It's just we're getting people who are left bag holding it right now, and you know, like hoping for a turnaround to come. But I think really we're not going to see a turnaround in this stock price until, you know, we have revenue come in. We have stability around whatever's going for Florence Archer, even if that doesn't eventuate. And when we have clarity over what's going on with the stock's future and, you know, the likelihood of another reverse stock split happening. The company I've covered extensively on this channel for a few years is Excel Technologies, and they've had 2 reverse stock splits in the last year. The first one was, I think it was 1 for 20 or 1 for 25, and the second one was 1 for 250. So they've gone way beyond the NASDAQ rules of, like, you know, getting their 180-day compliance. But what's happened since then is the stock price has actually remained relatively stable because they've basically taken out all the excessive number of stocks. There's not as much, I guess, liquidity in the market, so it has returned an element of stability. So you might hope that that could happen for Mullen Automotive, but they're still a company that's raising money, and I'm sure there's going to be more equity raising in the future. So there's going to be just more and more shares added, no matter how many times they split the stock. Until they start getting meaningful revenue in, this is how they're going to have to fund their operations. Excel Technologies is very different. They are a company that's actually got an established revenue stream of over $1 billion per year. So it's a little bit different. They've got a lot of other problems. They're much more saddled with debt than Mullen Automotive. But they, like, the point I'm trying to make is the amount that they had to manipulate their stock through 2 reverse stock splits to get some level of stability was crazy. And I think that's kind of what we might see with Mullen Automotive. We might see another reverse stock split, which will probably be bigger than 1 for 10 at this rate, which means it goes beyond the NASDAQ listing period 180-day rule. That doesn't apply anymore. They don't get those extensions. But it might actually, at least in the short term, return some stability to the stock. Anyway, a bit of a rant there. Yeah, I'm still, like, I'm on the fence. Like, it's kind of like I want to, you know, dollar cost my losses a little bit with this one, but at the same time, knowing there's a reverse stock split coming, I don't think I'm going to, I'm really thinking of just holding off. Like, I hope for everyone's sake, this is the bottom of what we see with the stock right now. I hope it bounces back. But, you know, if I am to dollar cost my position, I think I'm going to actually wait until a little bit later on to see if there is any sort of reverse stock split. Yeah, because at this rate, just things look like they're going to keep going down. Anyway, bloody David Mitri, hey? Anyway, share your thoughts in the comments below. I hope you're all doing really well. Hopefully Mullen can bounce back and give us some joy on this Wednesday. If not, who knows? Anyway, share your thoughts in the comments below. Till next time, everyone, I hope you're all doing really well, and may the markets trade in your favor. Cheers.